Again, thanks so much for joining today. My name is Owen Vibert. I'm a longtime Doviconian. I've been here at Dovico for, well, it'll be 19 years here at the end of the month. I'm Director of Product Operations. I help our team with making product decisions here as it relates to the products that everyone here uses. When I got here almost 19 years ago,
Oh my God,
well,
gosh, it's
certainly spent a lot of time with me and getting me up to speed. So Carl's
about
been here even
50.
longer. And today's session here, we're going to break it out into two. So Carl Chase, most of you guys probably know Carl. He's our account executive. He helps get people up to speed in terms of purchasing our products, getting them implemented. And Carl's going to take the first part of our conversation here today, and he's going to run you through everything you need to know from a Dovico reporting perspective and everything you have access to today. And then at the end of the conversation, probably the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, I'm going to show you where we are going in terms of reporting, what we're thinking. We've never done this before, so I'm excited to show you what we're thinking. So I've got a live demonstration here to show you exactly what we're thinking in terms of reporting, what's next. You'll be able to provide feedback live. So we're going to have a tool that we're going to use here that you're going to be able to log into and provide anonymous feedback as I demonstrate this tool to you guys. So excited here to get this underway and yeah, as I said, get you guys up to speed here in terms of everything you need to know from a Dovico reporting perspective. So with that being said, Carl, I'll hand it over to you and you can take us through everything that everybody has access to today in terms of reporting.
Thank you, Owen, and thank you everyone for joining again. Like Owen said, my name is Carl. I'm going to share my screen here in a moment just to show you how the reporting works and what benefit you can get out of it. So just give me a moment here and I will get that shared. No. As you can see, I'm currently logged into our software. And if you're wondering where the reports are located, if you're not familiar, just give me 1 second. I want that to go away. If you're not familiar, you can just go up through our menu item at the top here, and right here under reporting, you'll find the reports. Now, we do come with a 30 some canned reports that come with the product. So these run from expense reports here at the top, some expense reports, some time reports, some budget and cost reports, anything just listing out employee reports. So that's the reports. I'll get more into that in a moment. It's divided up in three sections. So public meaning it's shared within your security group, all the reports that are allowed. We do have a private tab that as you create reports, you modify existing reports, they will come into the private tab where no one else will see them. They belong to you until if you decide to republish a report. And I'll get into that here in a moment. So that is basically how it's currently laid out. We do have a search function here at the top that you can quickly find what you're looking for. Now, most of you know, and I just kind of want to point out something that I don't point out to a lot of in other webinars, is that reports come in types and expense type, time and cost, time, etc. You might wonder what those are, but very simply, it's just the ability, like where is that time located? So if I come down here at the bottom, and if I want to run a report in Dovico, it's as simple as double clicking on a report. And because this is a time report, I do have, yeah, the time type, I do have the option to go across where the time is located, whether it's submitted in the calendar, whether it's just pending approval, has it been rejected or under review. So that report has flexibility to cross where time is, whereas you look at some of our other reports like project time and cost, the type itself only returns approved time. So just a little helpful hint to understand what types can do. But essentially, if I want to run a report, I can double click. These filters I'll show you can be added and modified, but here I can pick specific employees by holding my control key down. I can pick everybody. I can pick a date range. I can pick pre-built date ranges in that we currently have. And then you can select, what time. And in this case, I say all. And in order to run it, I can just say run. And by doing so, the report is displayed, showing me, the date range, and then the employee and then information below that I needed. And unfortunately, I don't have any descriptions there to show you. But once the report is run, there's quite a bit you can do here. You can export the report to PDF, Excel, XLS, all these other formats. You can even schedule the report. So if it's a report that always runs, so every Friday you need to know the time of your employees, each one of them, you can schedule this in a particular format. And by doing so, you can say which recipients you want to go to and what time it would happen. So when the time does come on Friday at 4 p.m., this job would run and it would execute the report and it would deliver it by email to your inbox. So it would save you time that you don't have to continually run the report. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, oh, sorry, I have to run that again. One thing to keep in mind is a little hint too, is if it's a custom date range, the auto increment of the report, like, so if I schedule it, happens based on the report's date. So again, let me go here for a second. Uh, but that's okay. So sorry, I just lost my train of thought there for a second. But the job scheduler is based on the date range, but the date range, we have the pre-selected ranges that we're talking about. These are the only ones that auto increment. The auto date, so if you pick like from the 1st to the 15th with the date range, it's not going to auto increment. It will only auto increment if you pick current week, previous week, etc. What are the ones that are pre-built? So when you schedule it, it will auto increment every week based on last week, current month, etc. So hopefully that cleared that up. Sorry about that. Now, this is not really what I like showing, even when I'm displaying the product in demo. What I love about this tool is not in your face right now. If I run this report, project time and cost, for example, I'll say all projects for the life. This report will show me, well, the projects, the hours, client costs, and company costs. Now, if I don't like something about this, I can simply right click. Now, there is a right click function in this view that some people may not know. You can remove a report. I would not advise to ever delete a public report. It's not the greatest idea. Maybe you're public, but um, not your, maybe you're private, but not the public. The import export functionality is not really used so much within our application because you can publish reports to your security group. But if we ever gave you a custom report and we do provide a service to create custom types, we can import custom types and we can import custom reports. But again, you may need to talk to us after this demonstration. That's more of a service we provide, but the export is there. So again, when I right click, I can duplicate. That's what I like about the tool. Now I have this in my private tab. I can rename this report if I want to, and then I can do whatever edit I need to do. So I'm going to show you how to build a report. But initially here, like if I didn't need, the company cost because we didn't track that, I could just simply take it off. You just customize the report very quickly just by removing a column. Now, again, not a big deal. I did remove the column, just showing you that's the basic functionality of duplicating and customizing can reports that we currently have. Now, this is where the power of the tool comes into play. You can create a report from scratch. So here, I can enter a report name and then put a description if I need one. It's in my private tab currently. No one can see it. These radio buttons are those types that I described to you where the time overlaps, like that time where time can cross everywhere, or time and cost can only report on approved time. Those are those types. And these types are, if you think of it as a query, if you pick it, it's going to return data to you. So, and this is like a wizard. So general, columns, grouping, sorting, filters. If I pick time here and go to columns, I'm going to get time columns. And essentially, these are columns from your database that you can add on the report that will return data. However, if I go back to the report type and I pick time and cost, you'll see that we filter out the proper columns in order for you to build a report according to the type. So now we have cost types at your disposal to build the report. Now, this last square here on the first tab of the wizard, a standard report is something you would give to a colleague, a client. It's got page breaks, it has color, it's nice. It's not something, it is just a standard report. Now, pie bar and grid, take up too much time to show each one. If you've seen Excel, you know what a pie and bar and grid report are. I am going to take a minute though to show raw data dump because this is relatively new in the last year or so, and it's great the way it works. So here, I'm going to show you how to build a report based on the time and cost type. I don't need time and cost. It could be any type. I just want to show you. I can go first name, last name, project name, task name, hours worked, and the description. Uh, uh, and the date, sorry. And now if I wanted to, I could add cost to any one of these columns to the report. Now, just for sake of demonstration, I hit run here. Sorry, I didn't have a good filter there. If I hit run here, it does a data dump. And at this point, you can export the raw data dump into XLS or Excel. And when you do so, this is the first tool that I've seen in a while do a nice data dump. I don't know if you guys did data dumps before, but you get pound signs, you get weird increments. They did a great job at making it normal columns in great format. The only thing you may have to touch at some point is to, customize the date format. And everyone knows how to do that. So this is very, very straightforward. Now, sorry, a second. So let me back up a minute. I'm going to build, just to finish off the demonstration, a standard report. So I can show off the rest of the tabs because the raw data, I can group it, etc., but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to build the same report we just saw there. First name, project name, task name, project hours, and the date. So I built the exact same report, except you're going to see there's going to be some differences. Now, before I leave this screen, I'm not going to go too much detail because I have a bit of a time restraint. I like to show this calculated column feature. This is the ability to come in here and make a new column, pick your column like hours worked. I might not be able to do this right on the fly, but I'm going to try. Add formula divided by budget or something like that. That way there you can make a quick calculation or a calculated column. And we give a whack of examples under advanced options here. So under calculated columns, we show you how to concatenate two names together, how to make a percent budget hours versus the actual hours and give you a percentage of work. So we give you a lot of options with that calculated column. Again, a little bit too much for this demonstration, but I do want to show that it's there. Now I'm going to run the report. Oh, date range again, because I don't have a lot of data in this database. Just pick for life to get some more. So you can see here, it looks just like the data dump. Like, what's the difference? Well, there is the colors that you see there, etc. So yeah, it comes out pretty much the same. But if I go to the next step, I can then group it accordingly. Like if I want to group it by project first, I can run group by project. It's going to roll up the project, and then if I want to roll up the employee name, you can see I can do that too. Instead of having a whole bunch of names, and then I guess I could roll the whole thing up if I wanted to. But you can see that you can build your reports and see it the way you like to see it, and we total it here at the bottom. It's just a matter of getting used to it and playing around with the software to get accustomed to how it displays the information. And then we have sorting either by date, etc. And then the filters are very important because you can obviously pick, what you want in your report. And in this demonstration, I'm not going to talk or show it, but I am briefly going to talk about it. A lot of in our columns here, all those tables I told you about, they all come from the database. Now, there's one thing this tool can do that I find you can maybe send me an email, talk to me about it afterwards, but it is custom fields. So you can add a custom field to an employee, you can add a custom field to the time entry, so you can add like an employee number, etc. The nice thing about our tool is back before we had this tool, it was custom work to get that custom field on here. Now you can see if I scroll down, I do have custom fields, I think in the city. There's status custom field, and I could add it to the report to see that custom field. Now, what's even more important is sometimes the custom field is more acting like a filter than it's acting like column. So here I can come in here and locate the custom field and I could filter by what everyone chose in that custom field and limit the amount of data or at least group that data together. But essentially, I don't think I'm missing anything. Uh, oh, yes, I am. Once you do create a report and the report is listed here, you have the option, hit these three buttons, and you can publish it. Now, if you do so, it's going to get put in the public tab where everyone can use it, and it's only for your security group. So you're an administrator, you publish it, the other administrators see it, managers, etc. I believe that is all that I have to cover, Owen.
Carl, thanks for that. There is a lot of power here in this reporting tool, guys. Carl is an expert inside and out of this reporting tool. If you have something specific, I'm sure Carl would love to hear about it. Estelle, maybe you could just drop Carl's email address into the chat. And if there is specific requests around how to achieve certain reporting functionality, how to get something specific out of the database, Carl would be your guy. So feel free to reach out to Carl if there is anything specific you're after in terms of reporting. I know you, Carl, you did go through it rather quickly, but this is recorded, and we're going to send this out to everybody here, and you'll be able to see the steps Carl went through to do some of the things he was after. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to share my screen. And Carl, again, yeah, great job here in terms of demonstrating to everybody what they do have access to today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what we're thinking about, what we're trying to achieve here from a development perspective here to I guess remove some of the complexity that's involved in terms of the reporting. As you can see with Carl, like there's a lot of clicking and pointing and an understanding of how the database is structured in order to get access to your data. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to allow people to use natural language to interface with the reporting engine to then pull out your data without having to, create case statements, know the database structure. And I don't know if this resonates with any of you, but a lot of you probably are the subject matter experts at your organization when it comes to Dovico reporting. And you probably get people come to you asking for specific types of reports. This tool here that I'm going to show you, what we're going to try to do is set it so that you can give access to anybody and they can probe the database, again, using natural language. They do not need to be a subject matter expert. Everybody can use natural language as a way to interface with the reports. Before I get into this tool here, what I'd like you to do if you could. I'd like your feedback. You guys can see my screen, right? If you would, take your smartphone, you can scan this QR code. Estelle, if you wouldn't mind, maybe you could drop the QR code into the chat along with the link if you want to just join this conversation on your desktop. You can click on the link as well. And this tool here that we're looking at right now, we're going to use this to get some live feedback. Again, it's completely anonymous, and it's a way for you to share from where you are without having to raise your hand to provide feedback. And this is what we're after here is your feedback. And we've never done anything like this, so I'm kind of excited. I've done individual feedback sessions. I've never done a group feedback session like this. So excited for your participation here, guys. And we're going to use this tool here to do that. So I'll click through, and you'll have an opportunity here to provide feedback as we go through. But I'm going to get everybody to get logged in first. So again, click on the QR code, or sorry, click on the link or scan the QR code. You can do this on your smartphone. You can do it on your desktop. So I'm going to log into this interface here. This is a proof of concept that we've had set up, and it's rudimentary. There's not a lot of bells and whistles here, but I think it does get the point across here in terms of what we can do using natural language to interact with your data, with your Dovico data. So if you're familiar with something like ChatGPT, you can see this interface here is kind of ChatGPT-ish, and that's by design here. What we want people to be able to do is, again, use natural language to probe the database. So again, removing the complexity of having to know how to navigate our reporting tool to get your data out. You use natural language. So maybe I'm interested in Q1 time data from 2024. So I'll ask for it. Give me project time data Q1 2020, whoops, 2024. So it'll run through its the prompt and it'll generate the data. And what we've seen here too, as we've been demonstrating this to various customers, is the speed at which the tool is operating under. Again, it doesn't seem overly fast right now, but it's a heck of a lot faster than when we first started using, which is interesting. But again, it'll spit out your data. It'll give you a breakdown here. You can see for Q1 of 2024, here are the projects, and it's hooked up to our database, where you can see across the projects for 2024. So maybe I want to compare this to 2025 Q1. So you can come through and you're just interacting with it, again, using natural language without having to go ahead and run reports consistently in Dovico to pull the data out. And I gave you that example earlier, like you guys being the subject matter experts at your organizations, people coming to you to access data. If you can imagine giving them access to something like this so they can then run their own prompts. And again, they don't need to be an expert in Dovico to do this. They're just using natural language to go in here and get the data out that they need access to. And again, we'll secure it. We'll make sure that people only have access to the projects and the employees that they're supposed to access. And we're going to go through that exercise here doing it. But this proof of concept doesn't have any of that. It is open. And you can see here now that it's gone through. It's giving me a breakdown of Q1 to Q2. Here's a breakdown of those hours. Maybe I want to see by employee. So provide employee information. So it'll go through and it'll regenerate the data and it'll come through and it should show me by project the employees associated to it and their time data. So this is what we're working on here is a way for you to interface with your data using natural language as opposed to having to click through the reporting tool. Now, the reporting tool is still going to be functional and it's still going to give you some great data. But again, I guess what I'm after here is maybe some of your feedback around what you're seeing. So I'm going to come back here into show up here, and I'm going to go over to the first slide. And you guys should all be able to see this on your screens here. And again, if you need to log back in on your smartphone, here's the QR code. Estelle, I think you put the QR code into the chat so you can scan this to get back into this feedback tool. But I've got the slide open here. Just looking for your comments, your questions, your feedback here on what you're seeing based around this proof of concept that we have interfacing with your time data, your project time data using natural language. So we've got a comment here, and we're going to be able to see everybody's comments. And again, it's completely anonymous. This is a big part of what we're after here is your feedback. So feel free to provide any insights here that you see. I'm just going to hop back into the tool, and I'm going to show you one other thing here that is interesting and something that I think would provide value. I'm going to ask it to generate a report for Q1 2025. And what it's going to do, or what it should do, is generate a standard Dovico report that you guys would typically run today. So it's going to go through the process of putting that together, and I'll show you that here momentarily. So this is something else that we're after, is not just an interface where you see the data. So we can see here for administration, general or HR, here's the people that worked on it. So instead of just data displayed on your screen, what we're trying to do is set it up so that you can actually create a Dovico report. So it's gone ahead and created that report. Here it is. I'm going to open it up. So here's a breakdown of the data. So it should be familiar. It kind of looks like our typical Dovico report that Carl had demonstrated earlier. So you can see that if you need access to then, maybe attach this to an invoice or bring to a company meeting around a project that's going on, you can still print the data and get it out of the system in your typical Dovico report format. So I think that's about all I had to show here in terms of this proof of concept. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions here through show up to get some feedback. So I'll just read a few of these here. Wow, that is powerful. Should be more productive. Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal. Try to remove the complexity out of the current system so you can get access to your data without having to be an expert in timesheet. You can use the tool that you have, your natural language. Looks nice. I like tables better than lists. Absolutely. That's something that we're after. That's not included into this proof of concept, but certainly pie charts, bar graphs. Those are things that we're looking at adding into this as well. I could ask it to put a pie chart together, but it'll tell me can't do it. So, but it is something that we're after here as we start to put this together into a production environment. We had met about this before. I do think it would be helpful and nice for my supervisors to be able to find information on their staff without having to dig as deep into reports. Yeah. And again, if they're always relying on somebody else to generate those reports, this would remove that, freeing up some of your time, so your supervisors can get access to their data as they see fit. I think something we talked about was the ability to see it in tables and more than just list information. Yeah, definitely want it to be more fancy for sure. This will save me time, streamline reporting, and prevent bottlenecks. Yeah, guys, thanks for that feedback. Appreciate it. I'm just going to move here into the next slide here. How would a feature like this help you? So we'll just take a moment here. Is there something specific that you saw? So we've seen some of those comments in the previous slide around time savings, certainly. But is there anything else that comes up for you in terms of, you know, how a feature like this could help you? Is there anything else, guys? Just take a moment here to see if anything surfaces. Would be a sounding board almost. Yes, like there's something interesting about this comment. And like when you run a report and generate a report, it almost seems like it's final. But chatting with it and getting the data in different ways without having to do a lot of clicking through and trying to pull the data out, just interacting with it verbally, it gives you different perspectives on the data. So definitely, and then you can create your report if you'd like. That would be a little bit more formal and finalized. So yeah, that's definitely something that's come out of the validations I've done around this tool. Save time, being the only one that really knows the back side of Dovico. Yeah, uh, I resonate with that comment too. I don't even fully understand it. I mean, there's a lot there. There's a lot of tables, a lot of views. And again, if you guys are looking for something specific that you're looking to access today, Carl's your guy. And if he can't get it, he'll find someone at Dovico that can. I think this would also help me be able to actually get all the information in one report that I want rather than having to do two or more. Yeah, having to pull at multiple data sources to put something together, that's something else that's on our agenda here in terms of using something like this. When I run a report, I always seem to be missing something. So you can add it as you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Could this check who hasn't submitted time yet? We definitely want to create that type of reporting out of the system. So this way here, you can get a handle on how accurate and up to date your data is. So yes, being able to identify people that haven't submitted their time for a period of time is certainly on our radar as it comes when it relates to this natural language interface for reports. I'm going to finish up with this, guys. We're at the bottom of the hour. Again, much appreciated all the time you spent here with us today and the feedback that you've provided. Thank you. Just going to finish up with this one question. Do you see this feature as valuable? And would love to hear from you. After you give your vote, you can certainly provide something more qualitative if there's a comment you'd like to make. So you'll be able to do that here and show up after you vote. The screen should open up on your screen. You can give a comment if you'd like as well, alongside your feedback here as it relates to do you see this feature as valuable? I'm going to keep this open for a little bit longer here, guys. So as we wrap up here today, if you want to come back in and give that comment, you certainly can. But I do want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for your feedback. And again, if there's anything you guys need from a reporting perspective, Carl's your guy. And if there's anything you think I can do for you, Estelle, maybe you can drop my email address into the chat as well. If there's anything you think I can do for you, you guys have been great to me. And I hope this session was helpful for you. I got a lot out of it. It was helpful for me. And if there's anything I can do for you, please reach out to me. Be happy to speak. So on that note, on behalf of Carl and I and our Dovico team, thanks for joining. And yeah, let us know if there's anything we can do to help you guys out going forward. Thanks so much.